Gods Unchained is better than Axie Infinity. Here's why. Say hello to the free play-to-earn game. Gods Unchained is a collectible trading card game based on Ethereum that you can compare to Hearthstone. If you like turn-based strategy games, Gods is a lot of fun, almost addictive. This is a game genre that we believe is well suited to the current state of blockchain gaming technology. We'll explain what this game is, how it ties to Immutable X, and why we find them both so appealing this year. Gods Unchained was revealed in July 2018 after a very long wait and excitement from crypto lovers from all around the world. They gained so much popularity before they released that in less than 3 months, they sold 1 million cards. This enabled them to close the beta phase of the game that began in November of the same year. James and Robbie Ferguson founded the game and the team that made it possible. Part of the reason why their game became so successful is because the Ferguson brothers have a background in e-commerce and have been using Ethereum since 2015. Many people have joined their team since then, including Chris Clay, who has spent decades working on these types of games, including a few years as the game director of Magic the Gathering Arena before joining Gods. This just goes to show how important it is to have experience and how it can give you an upper hand over the competition. They've also gotten significant funding from companies like Galaxy Digital, Coinbase, and Nirvana Capital. In the last few years, the game has developed and evolved dramatically. Just for context, Gods Unchained had 80,000 active weekly players at the start of 2022. Since March of last year, the game's assets have traded over $25 million in volume. How does the game work? That being said, here's a basic rundown of how the game works. Gods Unchained pits you against a single opponent in a one-on-one duel. Each of you gets a 30-card deck and a 30-health hero. You can choose your hero from 6 different gods, each with their own set of card possibilities, gaming styles, and hero abilities. The duel begins with 3 cards, 1 mana, and full health, and each round begins with you drawing 1 card from your deck and gaining 1 mana. Mana is just a fancy name for the gems you earn as you play the game. Because all of your mana is replenished at the start of each turn, you'll have 3 mana on your 3rd turn and 4 on your 4th. The cards include creatures, spells, clothing for your heroes, and anything else you would need in a fantasy strategy card game. On each turn, you can play as many cards as you want or can and try to kill the other god before he kills you. In a beautiful manner, it is both simple and extremely complicated. But that's a good thing since it's simple to jump in and start playing, and there's enough complexity to keep you interested. The longer you play, the more complicated things become and the more flexible your gameplay options become. If you're new to the game, you can play with a prefabricated beginner deck for each god to get a feel for the game without having to understand deck building techniques. They also provide a FAQ, a lot of learning materials, and a tutorial. Even if you aren't familiar with this genre of game, they make the whole thing seem quite simple. What's more, you move through levels and rankings once you start playing. Even the matchmaking system appears to work properly, so you're never paired against someone who's much better than you. They've done this so that you don't lose interest because honestly, nobody would love to play a game where they're outmatched every single time. As far as their crypto tokens are concerned, they've released the Gods and IMX tokens for Gods Unchained and Immutable X respectively since the game went live. There's a flux in the forge and favor in the game to be spent. You must be wondering that trying this game must be an expensive investment. No way, our card collecting friend. You can start playing for free and earn all of the items you'll need to advance in the game. The ERC20 governance token for Gods Unchained is Gods, but this isn't required to start playing. In fact, there are ways to earn it by playing, so you don't need to buy it or anything like that. The Immutable X chain's native token is IMX. This is the God Unchained team's Layer 2 solution, which uses ZK roll-ups and allows you to interact with the game's NFTs. The reason why they use Immutable X is that buying or trading cards would be extremely sluggish and expensive without this technology, so thank the heavens for this godsend gift for blockchain gaming lovers. To play this game, you don't need to know what this means or how it helps Ethereum evolve, but it's worth knowing that Immutable X is a Layer 2 solution similar to Ronin or Polygon in terms of how it functions. You don't need to know anything about cryptography to appreciate the IMX trading concept, but we'll still talk about it later so you can make sense of the stuff we're talking about. Flux and favor, as we mentioned before, are non-monetary in-game items with no blockchain representation. This brings us to the best introductory innovation we've seen with blockchain games. Why you should consider this game. The initial playable cards and the free beginning decks are not NFTs. This is why starting out in the game is simple and enjoyable. The first cards are merely standard game elements stored on a server. You can even create a unique NFT version of the card on the Ethereum blockchain by combining 2 of the free cards of the same kind, some Flux and Gods tokens. These can then be traded, sold, or repurposed into new decks. Plus, since they're NFTs, if they're valuable enough, you can sell them off for real-world money. This is a hybrid of the play-to-earn model and the traditional free-to-play model in games like Fortnite. This hybrid approach obliterates all financial obstacles to entry while preserving the ability to own and exchange rare collectible cards. This is something that more blockchain games should accomplish. The whole model is so convenient that every time you level up, you receive a pack of 5 cards, and you can even purchase card packs in the game if you have the money for them. That's what we call true freedom. For context, one of the God's competitors charges $150 for a starter pack. That's a massive investment for most people to make in a new game they may or may not enjoy. We realize that people enjoy scarcity, value, and collectibles, but if it's a game, don't you think it should be accessible to all? Axie Infinity is the closest comparison we can think of to Gods Unchained, since both are collecting and fighting blockchain games. They both have a simple enough gaming style to fit in with the current state of blockchain tech. But in order to expand the capabilities of blockchains, they have each built their own layer 2 solutions for Ethereum. Both have governance tokens as well as different in-game expendables and a token for their layer 2 solutions. They both have amazing teams that have developed successful space-themed games. Axie has had significantly greater success than Gods so far, but Gods is a more enjoyable and wallet-friendly game. Considering the fact that you need to spend at least $30 to buy an Axie to play the game, in contrast to that, Gods is free to play for anyone. The Axie team's tokenomic flywheel, designed with Delphi Digital's assistance, has been a huge success, and we have yet to hear of anybody generating large quantities of money from Gods or of it upsetting entire nation-states' economies. We're not sure any of these things are necessary to enjoy a game, but still, let's make a comparison between the two games. Axie Infinity versus Gods Unchained. Axie is currently trading at $21 with a market capitalization of $1.3 billion and 368 million USD traded in the previous 24 hours. It has a theoretical fully diluted valuation of $5.7 billion and is currently circulating in a limited proportion. The total market capitalization, if all tokens are in circulation, is the fully diluted valuation. The current price of the Gods token in comparison is 36 cents with a market capitalization of $8.6 million and a fully diluted valuation of $183 million. Both of these tokens are governance tokens with the ability to influence the game. Many gaming guilds, including YGG, as well as the investors previously mentioned, have added Gods to their treasuries, so we can consider this a big win. The Immutable X token's value growth is still a mystery though. For starters, there are no fees, but what's obvious is that it's an awesome layer 2. There's a fantastic game on it, and you would expect the team to produce additional Immutable X based games in the near future. The IMX coin is currently worth $82 and has a market capitalization of about $193 million. For comparison, Ron and Matic have market capitalizations of $69 million and $5.1 billion USD respectively. Conclusion. Although the digital asset markets have been deflated this year, the fundamentals have never been more solid. Blockchains are being adopted and explored by an increasing number of people. In the last year alone, NFTs have been one of the most common ways for new people to learn about blockchains. We believe that NFTs, particularly gaming NFTs, will be one of the most important aspects in helping blockchain technology reach more people in the future. Although the term metaverse has become irritating, it's obvious that the future will become more online and decentralized. Large corporations and gaming behemoths are recruiting teams that they believe can create their own version of the metaverse. It appears to be a great time to invest in companies and projects that are set to create engaging blockchain games. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for future videos. Please also leave a comment below to tell us what you think about Gods Unchained and whether you'd consider it.